Yeah, shout out to the moment of chop. We all out alive with the culprits, all y'all doing this. The Sea Devil, the rhyme storming.
From Brooklyn, New York, Dawn Marie in the house. Crew deep, no doubt. Gangsters, queens, and hustlers, we hold it down. Brooklyn born, Brooklyn bound.
Capone, Red Dragon, Janelle, Holden, Sway, Lindsay, Melissa, Teresa, Light the Way, Black Rose, Gianna, Melanie, Lab 15. Keeping it real, Anastasia, Mandy Bell, skills revealed. Pepper runs the show, no time for the weak. Zero Jules in Texas, girl, they speak. Monkey Mama, Tinker, Sunny Side, Rel, drop facts. It's the Brooklyn Crew. We from Brooklyn, where dreams are made of steel. Tough love, loyalty, that's how we feel. From the streets to the heights we climb. Dawn Marie's crew, one step at a time. Diane, Kitty Cool, Lexi Beamer too. Darren and LaDonna, the whole damn crew. Duty, Ron and Ed, keep it safe, no room for fear. Joey Brooklyn guards the line, it's crystal clear. I ain't no cop, I'm just a kid from the block. Here to hang out, keeping the clock. Order in the court, that's our plea. Stay safe, wash your face, trust in me. Be kind, help your neighbors, show some love. Dawn Marie's crew sent from above. Brooklyn, stand up, let the world know we here to stay. Brooklyn Crew. We from Brooklyn, where dreams are made of steel. Tough love, loyalty, that's how we feel. From the streets to the heights we climb. Dawn Marie's crew, one step at a time. Diane, Kitty Cool, Lexi Beamer too. Darren and LaDonna, the whole damn crew. Duty, Ron and Ed, keep it safe, no room for fear. Joey Brooklyn guards the line, it's crystal clear.
Girl, that's Dawn Marie. She's sharing New York memories. See the city with Dawn Marie and hang in Little Italy. R.I.P. South Factory. The real party is Kings County. The songs about music all around. That's where she found the Brooklyn sound. New York music. Strengthen her community. Her justice call, defiant tone, rings out from her Long Island home. New York music, it makes her dance. She hears the music, here's her chance. Brooklyn music, she takes her stance. She hears the music, here's her chance. She's so damn cool, so smart and quick. She's old school, this New York chick. Brooklyn music, she takes her stance. She hears the music, here's her chance. Brooklyn music, her justice dance. They face the music, they got no chance.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is Saturday, July 5th, and it's 2:30 p.m. And I wanted to come live because I seen there was a lot of things going on, and we haven't been live for a while. And I said, you know what? Let's go live because we have a little bit of time, and what better time than to go live? So here we are. What's up, Just Say When? Good to see you. So yeah, I know. There is there's a lot of things going on right now. I see that there is a mass flooding going on over in Texas, and so I wanted to send some love and prayers over there. I know they said there was 27 people that were confirmed dead, and so I'm so sad to hear that. It's this in light of everything going on. There's fireworks, parties, people celebrating. It's the 249th birthday of the United States, and so much to be thankful for. And then we have things like this with going on in Texas, and so it's tragic, it's terrible, and it's hard to see and to hear about. So what's up, Capone? Good to see you, buddy. And then, I've been dealing with, the past week, I've been trying to help some friends of mine out to find a family member that is missing. And so we want to keep Samantha Jessica Morales in our thoughts and prayers, as well as she's missing out of Fort Myers, Florida. And so, if everybody hasn't seen that, and maybe if you guys could possibly share her missing flyer. I know that I've posted it, on social media a little bit. And so, again, it's Samantha Jessica Morales. And so we just want to keep it out there. And just, there's just so much going on, right? It's, 4th of July weekend. People are out partying and doing all of the things, but we also want to take time to just pause for a second, right? And kind of like give a hand to somebody that might need it. And so I've been a little busy doing all of the things. Yes. What's up, London girl? Good to see you. Hang on. Let me just adjust the microphone for a second. I know I have not been live for a minute. And so I said, there's just so much to get caught up on. And, listen, for people that go live every single day for hours on end, I give you guys credit because I don't do this every single day. And so it is a lot of work. And so I appreciate you guys coming on over here and hanging out for a little bit. Yeah, man, prayers and, put the prayer hands in the chat for everything that's going on. It's a lot. It's like we see all of these things, we read all of these things, and it's just a lot. And so, I said I wasn't going to make this like a heavy live. I try to keep things a little bit kind of moving over here. And, so what are you guys doing? I know it's like, I said, well, we're going to have some like fireworks and stories and, 4th of July things. And so, 4th of July things that have happened over the years, because listen, when we started the channel, it was all about like sitting on the stoop, kicking it, hanging out over here and just telling stories. And so I was like, well, we could talk about like 4th of July over the years and like what we did in Brooklyn, hanging out, and things like that. And it was always like a party, at grandma's, right, with fireworks. And, we would watch the Macy's fireworks. And so it was just always a good time, right? So, yeah. So hang on a second. Let's see what, yeah, just say, I know it is so sad. Just say when. And I was like, you know what? I have about an hour to kind of kill. So I said, you know what? I can give a little bit of time over here. We can go live for a little bit. And a friend of mine was like, hey, can you do me a favor? Just see if you can put something out for Samantha. And so I was like, listen, from anybody, she went missing out of Long Island. So I'll tell the story a little bit over here. So Samantha is 31 years old and she went missing out of Long Island. She went down to see a boyfriend in Fort Myers, and she was, sharing her life on social media. And like all, young lovers do, right? They share their life on social media. And then, it just went dark. She went ghost. And, her family hadn't heard from her. And so it became a missing person. So her sister went on News Channel 12 last Friday, putting out a plea for her safe return. And nobody had heard anything from her. So, her missing posters were out. And, so it was just a really sad, turn of events. And so they said, she had gone missing. She had gone down to Fort Myers to go see this guy and nothing. They hadn't heard from her and nothing. And so I said, all right, well, let's, we'll see what we can do. Yeah, it is heartbreaking. And so I said, all right, well, I mean, it's like a needle in a haystack trying to find somebody, right? But what can you do? You could share it, you can put it out, and we could all just hope for the best. When somebody is missing at whether it's 31 years old, 3 years old, 70 years old, it doesn't matter, right? To that family, that person is their everything. And so they're pleading for the public to just keep an eye out and to do something. And they're also pleading with that loved one to, get to a phone and maybe call, or if they're in danger, something, just in hopes that somebody could, make a phone call or something. And so, they put the word out on the street and, they hadn't heard from her. So, you know, fast forward for whatever it was, they hadn't heard from her, and so they reached out to the family of, the guy that they thought that she was with, and they hadn't heard from him either. And so then both of them became missing. And so then it became a thing, and so here we are, so we're trying to find Samantha Jessica Morales. So if anybody sees her, or, sees her flyer, if you guys want to share it, I appreciate it. And we'll see what we can do. But it's been I think it's been like a month. I think yesterday was a month that she's been missing, since I'm sorry, I think it was June 3rd. So, and then also I know that today is the heavenly birthday of Xana Kernodle. She was one of the Idaho 4 from the, Brian Kohlberger. So, wish her a happy heavenly birthday. I think she would have been 23 today. So I know there's just a lot of things that happened last week in the news. He took a guilty plea, which they say, he made a deal with the devil, which it's just heartbreaking. You see these families that just go through such tragedies. And so, it's just terrible. What's up, Polygraph? Good to see you. Yeah, I know. I try to keep it a little light over here, but there was just so many things that had happened last week in the true crime community. And I was like, oh my God, like, a lot of times it weighs heavy on your heart. And so, I'm like, I just got to release a lot of this and just get it off and just, but I mean, like this Gonsalves family, they're hurting so bad. I mean, their daughter, then, and there's new news that it's coming out on what tragically happened to, Kaylee Gonsalves. And so it's terrible to hear what he actually did to these victims. And so I this is something that nobody should ever have to go through. I mean, the way they tragically lost their children is disgusting. And now this guy takes, he pled guilty. And so there won't be a trial, but it's just these families will never be the same. And I don't think anybody on the internet should really take that from them, because they're sitting there every day and every night trying to process the fact that they've lost their loved one, and their loved one's never going to come back. So it's just terrible, and then you have the other side of the people that, they want to get into the mind of the killer. And that's just the side of things that I can't, but, to each their own, whatever. I mean, I'll always be on the side of the victims and the families and stuff. So, London Girl says, after all that time, it was a shock he pled guilty. Yeah, it sure was. And to hear him say, yes, 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 4 times, with a straight face. I mean, listen, I can't. I just know that there's 4 families that sit off to the side, and they were majorly affected by this, idiot. And so, yeah, B-Fergs, nobody has a right to tell someone how to grieve. Exactly right. And it's terrible that anybody could try to take that away from, I had heard that somebody even said something, you can't do that. You can't tell somebody how to grieve. You just can't. I don't know. You can offer your condolences. If you've even been in the person's shoes and you felt that way, then yes, you could understand them, but you can't tell somebody how to grieve and how to move on. You just can't do it. I mean, my heart breaks whenever I see, because, I'll look on like their social media pages and things like that. Like the Gonsalves family has their own, social media page, and that's where they go for their comfort, and that's their safe space. And that's where they go to, empty their thoughts out. I mean, they're so heavy with what they have going on. Right. And so that's where they go. And yeah, you can't tell somebody how to move on, and you can't tell them to shut up. And that's terrible. I mean, those poor people, it's just you have to just thank God you don't ever have to go through what somebody has gone through like that. Like, I could never. I'm just so saddened for anyone that's ever gone through anything like that. My heart is always going to be so heavy for people like that. And so, yeah, you don't ever have to, you just do your thing. B-Fergs, it's always good to see you. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, turning on the social media sometimes, it's like, you get to see everything and then you're like, oh my God, there's just so much. And it's heavy, And so we'll try to keep it a little bit light, over here, but there's just certain things that you just can't walk on by it. You just have to, And for the most part, I always just keep it moving. Like people say to me all the time, how do you do it? How do you do it? I said, you know what? Because a lot of times you can't give a rat's ass. Like you just have to, when somebody does something, you got to go, you know what? You got to give them the sign of the cross and you just got to keep it moving because you just got to thank God you're not them and keep going no matter what stage of whatever it is. And just, but it's whatever. So anyway, what are you guys doing the rest of the weekend? I mean, it's still early. It's just early on a Saturday. It's not even 3:00 here on the East Coast. So yeah, B-Fergs, you got to pick your battles. It's so true. There's a lot of things in this world that it's worth fighting for me. And then there's a lot of things where I'm like, you know what? I ain't opening that. And you just got to keep it moving. What up, Lab? Good to see you. He's going to work. Oh, yeah. Listen, it's like such a weird weekend because, there's a lot of us that have off and then like my husband had to work today. So I was like, what up? Yeah, you had yesterday off, then you work today, then you're off tomorrow. So it's like, so I'm just doing laundry. Honestly, it's been raining all weekend. So it's been kind of crappy here. It was a little bit nice last night. So we sat outside, watched a little bit of fireworks. And then I put on the Macy's fireworks, the show in New York. And so we watched some of that. And I saw, it's just, I don't know, maybe as you get older, you're like, whatever, as the night got old, as the night went on, I was just remembering like my little dog would be like hiding from the fireworks and stuff. And I'm going, oh my God, 3:00 in the morning, I hear all the fireworks and I'm going, oh, just stop already. Enough. I feel like you're getting so old, you hear it all night. Yeah, you see, you're tired today, and the fireworks drives the dogs crazy. That's just what it is. Yeah. So I know my dog passed away a couple years ago, and so, but I mean, for 16 years when she was alive, like every year she would run and dive into the closet, and we'd be trying to like get her out, and like, come on, come on. She's like, and so, you feel so bad for the pets because they freak out. And, we would buy like the thunder jackets and all of the, and so, but there's a lot of people that were going to parties this weekend. This was like one year where we didn't do anything. I just said, you know what? We had nothing planned. And so I'm a very uneventful 4th of July person this year. And that's usually very, we usually do a lot of things. We go to a lot of parties or, we just have a lot of things planned. And I just said, you know what, this weekend I'm home. And it is it's pouring as I speak. It is raining. So. I think I overdosed my dog. She's on the CBD. Yeah, I know. We're constantly just trying to keep the dogs calm, right? I just remember for so many years, just constantly making sure that the dogs were okay, just making sure all the pets were good. And so, this year was the first year that I actually was like, I don't have to worry about pets. Like, what do I do with myself? But yeah, that's it. It's just really, hanging out, just trying to get caught up. Like I said, I was, been helping out this family and, hoping to really just plead for a safe return. I'm hoping that nothing is, happened to her. And that's really just it. So what else is going down? Anybody else have any really good 4th of July stories? Like even from like when you were younger or Anything cool this weekend or what? I think I'm gonna schedule to go see if I can go get my nails done tomorrow. I doubt it. I doubt my girl is working on a Sunday, but I'm gonna try. Like I said, this is such a weird weekend for me. I am literally saying, like, I have no plans. I love it though. And it's funny because I'm like, I must have took like 2 naps yesterday. I mean, we ran around and did like some little local things and just got some, you know, errands done and stuff, but I'm like, this is great. I love it. I didn't have to be anywhere. I didn't have to make anything. Kids are out. They're often having a good time. Families are out. All the families out. Everybody's having fun. But I'm like, you know what? We don't have to do anything. This is great. I love it. I kind of like low key live for weekends like this though, where I could, just open the blinds and just go, I don't have a damn thing to do and I'm not even mad about it. Like, oh, I love it. I can't even believe that we're already into July, 2025, July. Like, I feel like we just started the year. It's so weird. So bizarre. So, like, I can remember, growing up as a kid, having 4th of July, like, so, coming from a big family, we would go to like my grandmother's and stuff. And so, like, I have tons of aunts and uncles. And, growing up, listen, we had food upon, I mean, fireworks. And like I said, we only lived a short, not far from where they did the Macy's, in Manhattan. And so we had a pool in the backyard. And so it was just always nice, it living in New York was such a fun way of having 4th of July. I remembered listening to music outside, and you would see like all the families and everybody and just I was just telling my girlfriend last night, she called me, she's like, "What are you doing? You want to come over?" Blah, blah. I said, "No, no, we don't want to do anything tonight. We just want to hang out and that's it." And so I said to her, I wouldn't have changed how I grew up with anybody, like, and it's because she grew up down in Florida. And so she was like, listen, like we had big parties here but they didn't have like the city. And so like we had the Macy's fireworks on. And so, my husband's like always in awe of like because he grew up, down here too. And so, just to see like the city and all of the lights and everything. And so it's different, it's just, what's up, Sunnyside? Good to see you. One of the girls says, it takes ages for the summer to come. And once it does, it's time to get ready for the cold again. Yeah, right. It's like, going through all the 4 seasons and stuff. It's maybe sometimes too, like, when with me, sorry, living down here now, I just feel like it's summer, 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 and summer. And so it's hot, 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 and hotter. And it cools off a little bit, when it gets to like the holidays and stuff in January, February a little bit. But I mean, it's not enough to where you're like, oh, I'm going to go buy sweaters. No, it doesn't get crazy. You get a couple of little, light jackets or whatever, but it's nothing to where you're like, oh my God, like I see these girls and they get all like, oh, we get into lattes and things. And I'm like, all right. Sorry, it totally muted me. I'm sitting here talking to myself. Sorry. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional live streamer over here. I'm hitting chords and things. Yeah, no, it's been so hot here. But like I said, it gets hot, 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 and hotter. That's just what it is. And so I don't even remember where I got, stopped when I hit the microphone, but it's that's just what it is. And so, I mean, you don't buy like sweaters here. You get like a light, zipper jacket or whatever in the winter. And so that's just, but then it'll be 80 degrees. And so, I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but up in the north, I mean, you get ice and snow and winter. I mean, it's just no, you don't have to refresh. Stay here and hang out for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, listen, so 4th of July is always, it's different no matter where you are, right? But it's always the same. It's whether you have a barbecue or you have a pool party or you're just lounging around and hanging out, with your your friends, your family, whoever, whatever. Like, like for the past 16 years, I protected the dogs. And so it was, it's just, what is it that you remember from all the years? I remember, fireworks and family and barbecues, just everything, pool parties, things. Yeah, you hate wearing jackets and coats, right? I know. Well, and it was funny because where were we the other night? We went out to dinner and it was freezing inside. And so, but I always try to like carry like a light jacket just when you're inside the restaurant or whatever. So I put the jacket on and, but I said to the girl was like, oh my God, it's always so freezing in here. I said, but listen, you can always just wear a jacket inside, but step outside, go outside and you can just listen. It's so hot outside. And so, I mean, you have the air conditioner and it's nice inside, but they do keep the places down here freezing. But I mean, listen, what's the other side of it? I mean, you could sit outside and get eaten by the bugs because, I mean, it's just hot, 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 and hotter here. So sit outside. You'll, it's hot. And they're saying too, right? Like the rest of the world is really hot too. Like my sister was telling me the other day, she goes, listen, it's really hot up in New York right now. I'm just saying. She's like, and I know it's really hot down by you where you are, but it's really hot up here. I said, I heard it's like, 100. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, but they said in New York it was hot. So Jose Wynn said it's hot as can be right here right now. I'm putting in my air conditioner today. Yeah. Sunnyside said, yeah, I was outside watering my plants and sweating my butt off. Yep. So, I mean, I live under no illusion that no matter where you are in the world right now in, the United States, that it is probably warm somewhere where you are. It's just what it is. Yeah, London Girl says it's been ridiculously hot in London. See? I feel like I was just talking to somebody in Australia too the other day where it was actually cold there. So are they having their winter maybe now? I feel like he was just telling me it was cold there. Yeah, the weather is so crazy, and so like I said, it's been just a really kind of like crappy weekend here because of the rain. It's just been raining. And like I said, I was watching the floods this morning and I'm going, oh my God, Texas, 27 dead. Like, what is going on? And then they're talking about like little girls that went missing. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm trying to find one girl and they're missing how many? I'm like, what is going on, man? Like, where this world, like, please, just everybody, I don't know, man, pause. Like, what's going on? Where is, Miss Alma, good to see you. You're never late. Don't worry. I'm just rumbling over here. It's no big deal. I was saying before that it would have been Xana Kernodle's 23rd birthday. She was one of the Idaho 4. Wanted to wish her a happy heavenly birthday today. And, just keep those families in your thoughts and prayers, like I just feel like they are going through something that is just terrible. Like, my God. I couldn't believe that this week. I said, he pled guilty. Savage. I think one was found hanging onto a tree limb. Sunnyside. It is just, I cannot even imagine. It's just, weather is just something that you just don't fuck with Mother Nature, It's just one thing amongst many things that is just, I was driving on the highway one day last week and I saw a car flip and I was in the left lane, and it was all the way on the right side shoulder, but it had happened in my, I'd seen it, and there were already cop cars there, and the what's it called, the ambulance and the fire trucks were already off to the right, so they must have been, not far in the area. And I went, what is going on? Like, it's just, people are just, you gotta like go a little slower, take your time. I just had a guy like cut me off, and I'm like, what's the race? Where are you going? Take it easy, man. Just what's the rush? So what are you gonna get? You're gonna get to Walmart 5 minutes faster than me? Like, chill out. What's up, Nana? Good to see you. Yeah, Sunnyside, he needs to be under the prison. That's right. He really does. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I'm a very like I feel like if you do something to somebody, you should get that same thing back. I know that's probably not the right thing to say, but I mean, something like this, it's just terrible. Those four families, my heart just breaks. My heart breaks for anybody that goes through a tragedy like that. Anybody that's a victim of anything. I'm like, you know what, man? Don't tell them how to feel. Don't tell them how to react. Nuh-uh. Don't you dare. Sunnyside says, we're living in a fast-paced world. Everyone's rushing to get nowhere. It's so true. And I was working with another girl, and so she was in the car with me, and she was like, look at this guy. Like, he throws up his gang sign, like whatever he did to me. And I'm always like I said, I laugh things. I'm like, whatever. And and I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, like, as long as he felt good about it, like, you're kidding, right? I mean, whatever. You need to cut me off to go around to, where are you going? And then boom, I see this accident, and and I go, so right away I say to her, record that. Like, oh my God. And so she was like, what happened? She didn't see it. I seen it. And then so she's seen it after. And I was like, you didn't just see that car flip? And so I said, you know what? Like, we got to go. It's just too much. People are just driving ridiculous, and just chill out, man. I don't know. Calm down. Beautiful young kids that had their whole lives ahead of them. Yeah, right. I mean, here they are going to college, trying to make something of themselves. You have parents that are pushing their kids to go do something with their lives. And then you have this one savage beast that is like, no. Why? What? Like, I just don't, I don't know. I'll never. I would never be behind anybody that could stop a family or families from feeling the way they feel. Like, let them grieve how they want, let them feel the way they want to feel. I mean, yeah, like, the justice system will do what it needs to do, but you can't stop these families from, they had a family member ripped right from their lives, and they couldn't do a damn thing to stop it. Like, that's not right. What gives another human being the right to take the life of another human being? Not a damn thing. You don't get that right to do that. Mrs. Alma says, I'm looking at 2 surgeries. The first surgery is, oh my God, Mrs. Alma, you better take care of yourself. Nana says, a heart surgeon here had his daughter and her 2 friends were in a house that got swept away at 4 a.m. still missing. I tell you, Nana, it's too much, Why? I don't know. I just, yeah, Mrs. Alma, we're praying for you. You just hang in there, okay? So, at the end of the day, I hope that, everything works out for these families. I really do. I pray that they get the most healing they could. And there is listen, they can take all the time they need. Like I said, I'll tell every victim's family, like, you can't tell somebody how to grieve. They can do, they can feel the way they want to feel. Sunnyside says, Nana, seeing the videos of the houses being swept away is mind-blowing. Yeah, I watched a little bit of the footage, and I can't say that I seen all of that because I didn't, but I did see a lot of the flooding happening earlier, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, when you just see just enough and you're going, you're like, you know what? I can't. And then I seen at the bottom of the screen 27 dead, and I go, wait, what? Where? And wait, I think I wrote it down. It said Travis County in Texas. Is it Travis County or Kerr County? Kerr County. I'm sorry, Kerr County. What's up, Des? Good to see you. Des, you're here. Des went live last night about this, so maybe you can put in the chat some information on that. Subscribe to Des. Des, drop your channel link. Sunnyside said, hell no. And hearing someone say move on made me furious. Yeah, nobody should tell anybody to move on from anything when it comes to anything like that. It's terrible. You can't tell anybody to move on from no. All right, so Nana says Kerr County, Kerrville, Texas. Okay, there we go. It's Kerr County. I knew I wrote it down here. So it said 2 confirmed dead, 10 others were missing out of Travis County in the flooding. And then so it was Kerr County. Yes, 27 confirmed dead. There we go. So Des dropped her link, and I know she did a live last night because I seen it right before I fell asleep. And so yeah, Mrs. Alma, it is. It's too much. I mean, just when you think social media is wonderful because you get to stay abreast of everything, right? And you get to see all of the things. And then I go, you know what? This is too much. Like, it's just a lot. I'm glad because we can have access to everything. But Nana says, my daughter used to go to Texas Lions camp there when she was little, a diabetic camp. Oh, right. And so I had also read that there were a whole bunch of little girls that were missing. I mean, here you have kids that are going on camp trips, and now they're like, what the? This is terrible. Hang on. All right. So Des says, so far, 27 fatalities, 18 adults and 9 kids. There's 25, maybe more camp kids still missing. That's tragic, man. Yeah, we'll definitely have to stay updated with you on that, Des, because this is all weather related. I mean, this is a natural disaster. This is terrible. What's up, Johnny Kramer? How you doing, buddy? I haven't seen you in a minute. He says, so are you saying that you're not cooking stuffed shells this weekend at your place with garlic bread, Miss Dormer? Having nothing this weekend. Pull some. No, you know what, Johnny Kramer? I am not making stuffed shells. We actually did takeout last night from a little local Italian place over here. And I am not. My kitchen is clean. It's closed for the weekend. I went to the grocery store. I got a bunch of fruits and vegetables. I've just been making, fruits and vegetable platters. And everything's in the refrigerator, and it's just kind of like make a sandwich if you want. And that's just it. Like I said, my husband's working today, and I said, you know what? I just didn't feel like cooking last night. And with the rain, it's been raining like here. Like it's been raining here like crazy. And so I said, I'm just not gonna cook. It's just us. Everybody went out. So it's one of those holiday weekends that I did not have plans. I'm not going to lie and say I had this wonderful, fabulous weekend away, and I didn't. We just hung out here. We watched some TV last night. We caught the Macy's fireworks on TV. I watched some fireworks out on the patio because I could see them right here. And let's see. Des says, definitely. We saw a woman who was trapped with her family and a father who was in a hospice bed trying to find anything on her. I'll give another update on it later tonight. Oh my God, Des, that's right. You're not far. You live right there. So keep us posted, sweetheart. Let me know what, it's terrible. And it's terrible when you feel like you can't do anything. Like, Sunnyside, I know you have to start cleaning. I put I put laundry in, and then I was like, well, I'll strip the beds. And so I did all that. And I don't know, maybe I'll do the floors again. We'll see. I don't know. I have a few more hours. Mm. Johnny says he's just chilling, and like Miss Sunnyside says, I need to clean. Listen, yeah, listen, just hang out. Jennifer Marie, it's good to see you. How are you? We're just chilling here. I am one whole big nothing burger this weekend. We are just hanging out, going live, and just chilling here. That's it. I watched Joey Brooklyn went live last night. I missed it because I was watching the Macy's fireworks. Don't you know? Sorry, Joey. I watched it a little bit before, and I said, "Oh my God, Joey Brooklyn! That's right. I forgot he does, fireworks in his neighborhood." And so him and his wife and kids, they ran around the neighborhood, and so I watched a little bit of that today. So if you guys check out Joey, he did a fireworks, live last night. So you took a nap? I know. I fell back asleep this morning. Listen, I felt like a kid this morning. I took like 2 naps this morning. Who does that? I never do that. I'm usually up at 5 in the morning. I'm up, showered, clean the house, do all the things, out the door. And I took 2 friggin' lazy naps. I'm not gonna lie, it felt good. Mine too. Oh, Miss Alma, you guys got a lot going on. You better just relax over there and just take care of yourself. Des says, I'm an hour away from the flooding there, advising us to stay put and not go anywhere outside of the city. It breaks my heart seeing everything going on. Yeah, Des, you got to be careful. Just, don't go out. If they're telling you to stay home, just, you got to listen and try to do as much as you can you're so good on social media. So stay as resourceful as you can on the platforms. That really helps a lot more than almost like what I was saying, like doing these the missing flyers and things. And believe it or not, like I was putting just these posts out, and we had gotten a tip from somebody that had seen them, and I went, oh my God, that's just from me putting posters out. Like, okay, I'll keep doing it. I mean, anything that can help get somebody answers, right? I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, aside from going out, we were going out and putting out like, posters in places and asking people, like, hey, have you seen Samantha Jessica Morales? Like, have you seen her? They were like, oh, go here, go there, go to this post office, go to this 7-Eleven, go here. And so like, I ran around to as many places as I could, but then they were like, listen, stay on social media as much as you can and put it out to as many groups as you can. And I was like, okay. Yeah, Mrs. Alma, you've been through a lot. See, you got to just take it easy, man. All right. So Des says, Sunnyside, yes, I'm an hour away from both Kerrville and Seguin. So we're all on a standstill. Rain is supposed to stop around 7 p.m. Well, you just take it easy, girl, because listen, that weather looked vicious. And it's been raining over here too. So I cannot imagine. When I seen that flooding in Texas earlier today, I said, oh my God. Oh my God. I know, Sunnyside, right? You take a nap and you feel guilty. I know, I definitely did. When I fell back asleep, I went, oh my God, I have to get up. It's 9:15. Like, what do you mean go back to sleep? No, go back to sleep. Jennifer, I worked yesterday and then did the 4th stuff. Got home at midnight. I'm doing nothing today. See, sometimes it's nice to just do not a damn thing, right? Just do nothing. Sorry, I gotta scroll up. I am so bad at scrolling up. Purple Iris, how are you? Oh my God, we were just talking about Texas, girl. I'm thinking about you guys. Sending lots of love, man. This is terrible. Jennifer Marie says, it's horrible. I somehow ended up in a Kerrville group on Facebook a few years ago, and there's so many missing people posts. Jennifer, it just really scares me because I hate to have to do that, like to have to help somebody look for somebody. And then when it's somebody that it's scary, and I'm putting this poster out, and I'm like, then I start to get angry because I'm like, where are you? Like, like, I'm getting mad, There's still some missing from Helene. Mrs. Alma, I know. It kills me inside, Like I said, I seen this earlier today and I just went, all right, let's go live today. It's been like a month. I haven't even gone live because I've been so freaking busy. And I said, you know what? There's just so much going on in the world. Let's just go chat for a little bit, man. Let's just hang out because listen, that's why I started this damn channel. It's just to hang out. And that was it. Really nothing more, nothing less. Right, Jennifer, all the girls from the camp. I mean, these are kids that they're just camping. They just want to learn a little bit about life and hang out and have a good time. They're kids. I mean, oh. What's up, Mandy Bell? Good to see you. We're just kicking it and shit, hanging out over here. Yeah, I just listen. The faster they can stop this and the more they can save these people and just, I don't know. Like I said, I hate to see that kind of shit. I really do. Yeah, Mandy Bell, she's my people. She's such a good person. I love her. Mandy actually was keeping me updated too this morning a little bit about this. And so it's just this friggin' weather, man. How is it over? Is it still pouring like the rain or what? I know, Jennifer. We're all around. That's why I said I really have to make a more conscious effort to go live a little bit more. But sometimes I feel like I don't have a lot to talk about. But then I go, you know what? Maybe we could just go live for 30, 40 minutes and just hang out. Really? I mean, I'm not here to make money on here, although I'd love to, but well, let's see. And then I seen something even funnier this morning too, which I won't even talk about it. But oh my God, I was not like, what? There's so many people that love to overshare their lives on here. And so listen, I was dying. Some of the things that people share, like they leave nothing to the imagination. Like, why in the world are people sharing like what they do? Never mind. Mandy says, yep, still raining here. It's getting worse for the new Bronzefeld and Georgetown area, taking a break from keeping an eye out on friends and family down there. I'm nervous as AF for them. Yeah, it's scary, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, not only like as a human, like just being a human, but when you have friends and family, and then you're like, wait a second, I haven't heard from them. What's going on? Like I said, my friend that's missing her niece is like, where are you? What is going on? I haven't heard from you. And now, you're like, what's going on now? The weather, and you're like, you're watching it on the news, and this is too surreal. This shit's crazy. Yeah, Mandy, be safe. Miss Alma says it's so hot and humid and muggy here. We're supposed to get rain all week starting Monday. Yeah, Mrs. Alma, it's been so crappy here too. I mean, it's the season, but it's just, ugh. It just makes like your bones hurt. Like I was just telling my girlfriend last night, I was like, I feel like my joints hurt. And I'm like, I know I probably sound like an old horse. Just put me out, And she's like, why are you always bitching and complaining? I go, everything hurts. This weather makes my ass hurt. Mandy says what is that word? There's a Schlitterbahn water park plus, wait, I got to read that. There's a Schlitterbahn water park plus all the campers on River Road on the Guadalupe downstream from Canyon Lake. Nobody evacuated and the roads are closed. Deputies were told to take as many people. Oh my God. On foot to higher ground from around the river where people camp in tents, RVs, Airbnbs, and tube in the river. Yeah, see what I'm saying? That's scary. Hmm. Mrs. Alma, I'm in South Alabama. Jennifer, I heard that there was a really bad fireworks show in Alabama last night. Did you hear about that? I seen it on Twitter. Like it was not like a fireworks barge or something. Um, Damn, Mandy, that's scary. Yeah, Lake Martin. That's what it was, Jennifer. The one on the floating deck. Yep, that's what it was. I seen it. And I actually shared it in the Discord. Are you still in there? You need to come. If you're not in Discord, send me a message. She said, yeah, it was really bad. Okay, yeah, so I seen it. And I said, whoa, wait a second. You know, it's like you always hear about people that are listen, I cannot with the whole fireworks and be careful, you might blow your hand off and stuff. Like, come on. Leave that to the professionals. Let the professionals do the fireworks show. Stop being out there like Buffalo Bob blowing up fireworks and, you know. And then I see this thing pop up on my thing and I'm like, okay, computer's always listening. Here we go now. We're going to get 42 friggin' things now about fireworks. And then boom, this thing comes on my phone and tells me about this fireworks thing in Alabama. Mandy says, people were told the water from Kerrville would be held in Canyon Lake and not overflow or break the dam to the Guadalupe downstream. They didn't account for the rain that ended up just sitting still overnight last night. See, that's just so scary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just keep thinking of these little kids that went friggin' camping. Like, no, and no. I saw a video of a kid that got his hand blown off in some group I got added to. He held onto the firecracker too long. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, just there's warning instructions on these things, just not because they want to take up space on the package, but because you're just not supposed to do it. Like, just don't. And then you got other people going, happy 4th of July. You're going to blow your hand. Like, oh my God. Just don't do it. And you won't have idiots like that having to remind you. I can't. Nana says, my grandson and his family heading back home from San Antonio. I checked on them yesterday. They are an hour and a half away, he said, on the 8th floor chilling. I hope that they're okay, Nana. Yeah, Sunnyside, I know. Helen, the Scottish Llama, how you feeling? Good evening to you. So yeah, I mean, unless you guys want to talk more about any of the other things or tell me more about the cases and stuff, like I said, you know, the Kohlberger guilty thing had me really just shaking my head all week. Like, it was terrible. You know, it winds up, you know, I'm not one to, like I said, I don't get back around him. I go back to like the families because that's just my heart goes to them. So Sunnyside said, seen her no, I'd rather not. Thanks. Helen says, same as usual, same as always. Well, you better be taking care of yourself, Helen. I have this like fuzzy thing on the microphone, and so like all these the air conditioner is blowing the little fuzzies off. People do, yeah. Jennifer, it's just so sad. Like, oh my God. Oh, I can't. So yeah, I mean, that was really it. That was all that I really had. And like I said, as far as 4th of July and just hanging out here, not really doing much of anything. You know, I was even just, you know, maybe thinking of going away for the weekend. And then, like I said, you know, he took the opportunity to go in and, you know, catch up on some, you know, work things and stuff. And I said, all right, well, you know, I could just listen. I'm always down to catch up on some cleaning and things like that, and a little rest is never a bad idea, right? Helen says, I think Idaho used the DP as something to bargain with. Yeah, well, they were saying that, they made a deal with the devil, which I'm sure, because they're saying that they didn't want all of the, listen, to have to go to the trial and everything. But, like this, like, even just listening to Steve Gonsalves say that he wanted, the jurors, he wanted a jury to hear him out. Like he wanted that. He wanted that for his daughter, He said, my daughter deserved better than this, than him just taking a guilty plea. And for that, I understand where he's going with it. I get it. I can't say I absolutely understand, but I can sympathize with him. And then there's some that are like, well, they didn't want the other kid, the two that made it out of the house. They didn't want them to have to, testify. And so I understand that part too, but at the same time, I go back to Steve Gonsalves, and my heart breaks for him. Do I really want to know what happened to the 4? No, I really don't. Me personally, I don't need to know what happened to them. They're just not here anymore. That's it. I wouldn't give him any satisfaction in wanting us to know, but that's just me. I thought it was pretty sad that, the Gonsalves family even had said what happened to Kaylee. And that was just like breaking news the other day. That's heartbreaking that they had to even share that with the public. Sunnyside said, one evil man is causing so much grief. Exactly. That's why I said it's not worth it. Get him out of here. Be done with him. I don't know. I just, one person to cause all of this. Get out. Bye-bye. See ya. Jennifer, I know that's why I can't stand being around fireworks unless they're the professional people like at Disney or something. Well, and like that was another thing. For years, we've always gone to, like Orlando or whatever, and we'd go see the show. Like we'd watch fireworks. And so I guess like maybe this weekend is kind of like for me, because we, seeing fireworks in like Disney or like Universal or whatever, like at the theme parks, you see them all the time. And so I guess we're kind of spoiled a little bit. I don't know. It's just sometimes when you live down in down here and you see the fireworks a lot, I know it sounds like whatever, but Andy says ultimately it's up to the family how they see justice for the loss of their loved one. That's exactly right. I guess that's kind of like I'm a little like borderline on how it is, because it's just I feel like, there's one family that I had heard, I read a little bit from where, they were happy. Well, I don't want to say happy because I don't want to use that word, but like Maddie Mogen's family, they were okay with the guilty. And the Gonsalves family, from the way I read it, was they were not. And so I don't know. Both families have a right to feel the way they feel. That's just what it is. Mrs. Alma says, my heart breaks for the families of those who lost their young adult kids to a scrum like him. I lost a good friend in high school to her ex. He killed her because he was jealous of her. Yeah, exactly right, Mrs. Alma. And so for that, I don't think that anybody should ever put the light on the person that did the bad thing. You know what I mean? It's always about the one that went through. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Helen says, but how much more grief it would have caused had it gone to trial. Yeah, it most certainly would have caused a lot. It would have. And so I understand that side of it too. I do. Mandy said, the guy that murdered Matthew took a plea deal. My aunt's murderer will never be found. I don't know how I'd feel, except it's unfair no matter what. Exactly. See what I mean? Like everybody that's gone through something tragic is always and should always feel validated in how they feel. It's just what it is. You can't take that from somebody. Mandy feels that that is how she feels, and she's 1,000% entitled to how she feels. I don't know. I mean, Steve Gonsalves said something about the judge and he feels a certain way. I'm not saying he's right or he's wrong, but he's entitled to feel how he feels. I mean, Polygraph says, I don't think they realize how awful it would be to hear from the guy that did the autopsy and find out what they went through and the gruesome photos. Right, exactly. That's why I said I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to know about that side of it. That's just I'm not into that. Yeah. Ugh, no. I'm good. Just knowing that he did what he did, he should just not that's it. The minute he said, "Yep, I did it. Bye-bye." Get out. But I also know that, that's just not the way life is, unfortunately. Mandy says, exactly. It's hilarious that a tragedy pimp saying anything about how a family feels. Right, exactly right. Well, and that's just what they do because that's, you know, they will take a tragedy and they will make money. They will make money off of it because they're disgusting. And, it's gross what people do because they don't have any ties and emotions to something. And so that's just it's terrible how people take a tragedy and utilize it for their own selfish, financial gains. It's disgusting. Polygraph. And in a public setting with the world watching. Yeah. Mm. I tell you, I think that's why, like, I don't know. I always say, like, practice the pause. And I know people laugh and they're like, oh, whatever. You're just not reactive enough. And I'm like, not reactive enough. Like, I think in life, it's such a good quality to know when to be reactive and how to be reactive because when you are reactive and you know when to be reactive and you're really good at it, you'll be fine. I just don't think that anybody should take a tragedy and use it to make a financial gain. I just don't. I mean, look at the news though. I mean, there's news channels out there that they just can't all right. So, news reporters, for example, I can get on a soapbox with this cuz I have a friend that well, without having to all right. So, there's a news reporter that's just drawn to a friend of mine over a situation that had happened years ago. And anytime that she gets a chance to throw a microphone in her face, she's right there. She will go to this girl for and my friend is a victim. And it bothers me and it bothers her. But I mean, so my friend's always like, Dawn, why? She's always right in my freaking face with the freaking microphone. But she's a news reporter. So what is her job? Is to get there and try to get her to talk. That's just what it is. And so whenever I see this particular news reporter, I'm always like kind of snarky in a way where I'm just like, oh, look who it is. Nothing else better to do today. Like, did you miss your Starbucks? Like, because I know that she's there for some ridiculous, whatever. And my friend's like, I'm tired of this, but she's over it now. But it's just kind of like it's still the same old, because she's there for the news. And it's just like, oh, it's so annoying because they're there for the tragedy of what the person went through. What up, Kitty Q? Good to see you. You getting tires put on your car? Well, that's good. At least you got you got nice new tires. Did you have a good 4th of July? What'd you do yesterday? I hope you did something fun and not lame like me and just ran errands. And you know what's crazy is like I noticed how many stores were open yesterday, and maybe because I've always gone away and done things on 4th of July, I was like, I said to my husband, I go, this is open, that's open. So he goes, it's only 4th of July. What's the matter with you? And I'm like, well, I didn't realize all these stores are open on 4th of July. He's like, it's 4th of July. And I go, I didn't know. Like, I thought everything was closed. Well, I don't know. Lots of places were open though yesterday. Some were closed, but lots were open. Kitty Q. I went to the movies with my husband to see Jurassic World, then shot off fireworks with the kids and the neighbors. Oh, you did. You know what? We were just watching the commercial last night for Jurassic World, and he says to me, you want to go see that? I go, oh, not really. I was kidding because I probably would go see it. I don't know. I was torn. I was going back and forth with it. I'm like, yeah, no, yeah, no. Mandy says we had a lame 4th, but it's been raining too much. We enjoyed it being like 76 to 72 here in July, though. Well, listen, this was probably the lamest 4th of July for me, which if it's lame, just chilling in the house in the air conditioner, doing laundry by myself, then it's fine. I'm cool with it. My husband and I played washers under the patio, listened to music, and drank beer. Hey, listen, Mandy, that sounds like a pretty, I don't know what washers is, but as long as you guys had a good time together, it's all that matters, right? Can't wait to go see that with my little this weekend. You know what? Then maybe I will consider going to go see it. He was all like, "What do you mean you don't want to go see it?" Like I heard I heard his fifis. He was like, "You don't want to go see it?" I'm like, I don't know. Maybe. Was it good? You liked it? It was great to watch it at the movies on the big. All right, so maybe I'll go watch it when it's the movies. All right. Helen, it's not a holiday there. Oh. Yeah, Mandy, send me a video of washers. Is it like, back in the day they would play like Skelsy, and so, like whenever I go to my parents' house, my father always tells me like, back when we were kids, like when the donkeys rode they played a game called Skelsies in the street with my uncles, and it was like a coin game or something. I don't know, it was something like with bottle caps or whatever. But first, I'll have to get to Texas Girl to bully you with me for not knowing what washers are. I don't know what it is. Well, it was like my dad trying to explain to me what bottle caps were. And so me knowing the wise ass that I am, I'm like, so let me ask you this. And he's like, what? I go, so Dad, so you mean to tell me you guys sat around collecting caps off the sodas? He was like, oh, come on, man. I'm like, no, really, I have questions. Like, I just have to know. Like, so what did you do? Like, save caps. Oh God. Sunny side, I love going to the movies with a large popcorn, M&Ms. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Sunny side, I'm just saying. I mean, listen, give me a box of chalk and I'll go outside and we'll draw on the street and everything. But you just sitting around playing with bottle caps. I just want to know if you just took the caps off the soda bottles. That just required a lot of effort. And like, where did you get all these soda bottles from? Oh God. Listen, popcorn sounds good. So maybe I'll bargain with him on the whole. We got to go to the certain movies. We'll have to have the popcorn. I'll have to require a couple candies. Then we'll go see Jurassic. Yeah, peanut M&Ms. All right, sold. This sounds like a deal. Oh God. All right, guys. Well, listen, I am going to head out because I am going to go finish doing the laundry, and I think I'm going to go mop the floors. And listen, everybody, I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Try to help each other out, and keep me posted, everybody. I know if you're in the Discord, and for everybody that's over in Texas, please, I'm thinking of you guys. I love everybody. And just please stay safe out there. All right. And until next time, we'll see you soon.
Yeah. It's time for the moment to chop. We all out alive with the culprits, all y'all doing this. The Sea Devil arrived storming.
From Brooklyn, New York, Dawn Marie in the house. Crew deep, no doubt. Gangsters, queens, and hustlers, we hold it down. Brooklyn born, Brooklyn bound.
Capone, Red Dragon, Janelle, Holden, Sway, Lindsay, Melissa, Teresa, Light the Way, Black Rose, Gianna, Melanie, Lab 15. Keeping it real, Anastasia, Mandy Bell, skills reveal. Pepper runs the show, no time for the weak. Zero Jules in Texas, girl, they speak. Monkey Mama, Tinker, Sunny Side, Rel, drop facts. It's the Brooklyn Crow.
We from Brooklyn, where dreams are made of steel. Tough love, loyalty, that's how we feel. From the streets to the heights we climb. Dawn Marie's crew, one step at a time. Diane, Kitty Cool, Lexi Beamer too. Darren and LaDonna, the whole damn crew. Duty, Ron and Ed, keep it safe, no room for fear. Joey Brooklyn guards the line, that's crystal clear. I ain't no cop, I'm just a kid from the block. Here to hang out, keeping the clock. Order in the court, that's our plea. Stay safe, wash your face, trust in me. Be kind, help your neighbors, show some love. Dawn Marie's crew sent from above. Brooklyn, stand up, let the world know we here to stay. Brooklyn, we from Brooklyn, where dreams are made of steel. Tough love, loyalty, that's how we feel. From the streets to the heights we climb. Dawn Marie's crew, one step at a time. Diane, Kitty Cool, Lexi Beamer too. Darren and LaDonna, the whole damn crew. Duty, Ron and Ed, keep it safe, no room for fear. Joey Brooklyn guards the line, that's crystal